Hello again. Welcome back. Hopefully you're coming back to the Scenic Route with Giovanna. If this is your first time, hi! It's so nice to have you here. Oh my gosh. So today I had a thought about what I wanted to share. And so here we go. All right. So I was filming this morning. For those of you who don't know, I am an actor in Los Angeles, and the industry is slowly getting back. I don't know about on its feet. I was going to say on its feet, but I don't know if we're quite there yet. I think we're still crawling a little bit, but it's forward movement, and I'm all about forward movement. So today my message is because I have had a couple of conversations, and it comes up quite frequently, actually, on a almost daily basis. I hear this, and so I wanted to address it, and hopefully this one gets out to everybody. I want everybody to hear this message. I want everyone to hear all the other messages too, but this one especially, I want people to really tune in and sit with this message from today. Okay, cool. Okay, so here it is. I was filming a couple days this week and this morning, and my scene partner, who's amazing, we've had a lot of fun working together. And yes, this is for a Darman video, so all you Darman fans, it's a good one. I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. It's a really beautiful message, as they all are, but they're all beautiful. What am I going to say? Okay, so now here we go. So I was speaking to one of my scene partners, and we had a little bit of downtime, lunch, whatever it is, and he or she, he, all right, it was a he. I kind of want to keep things kind of like ambiguous, right, for privacy's sake, because these are conversations we have, and but it's not just a conversation I had with him, so it's nothing like super private. So I feel okay talking about this. So it's nothing that I'm gonna obstruct anyone's trust. I'm very big on trust, so I will not do that ever, hopefully, and I'm very cautious with that. So here I go. So we're talking about working out, how I have not worked out all quarantine. If you knew me prior to this, because I do have some people who are coming over here from Facebook and Instagram, I used to work out a really fair amount before COVID, quarantine, lockdown, 2020, and I was happy. I was getting happy with my results because I don't have a very muscular build. I am more feminine and it shows, especially when I eat. And I was doing good for the first 6 months of it, but the last month and a half, I don't know. Okay, anyway, that's not the point of it. The point is this. So we're talking, and he goes, I can't do it. I'm too old. What? I'm looking at him because we look similar-ish in age, and I'm like, wait, what did you just say to me? And he's like, I'm too old. I'm older than you. I'm like, hold up. Wait a minute. Oh, heck no, not on my watch. Not in front of me are you gonna say you're too old, okay? I don't dig it. I don't dig that thinking. You want to know why? Do you want to know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you say it and you think it, you feel it. And that's the last thing any of us want to feel. We want to feel rejuvenated and young at heart. I'm not saying we need to be 21. Trust me, I do not want to be 21 again. Thank you, Jesus, I'm not 21 anymore. I am so happy with my age. And age is the sort of thing that it's kind of like a topic, it's kind of up there with politics and religion. You really don't want to talk about age, right? I'm going to tell you this. Okay. I love my age. I love my age. I think it's amazing. I think I get better every year, and I love it. I love it. I really love it. Now, there have been people who have asked me my age, and although I love my age, the way I have responded is because it's just sort of this world that I'm in, right? In my profession, we want to try to be seen for as many different roles as possible, right? We want to be considered for things that perhaps we wouldn't be considered for, because that's what's really fun, is doing new and different things and not playing the same thing. And you've heard that, right? So and probably why it's so amazing to work with Darman, like all his videos, I never know. I mean, I get the script and I know what I'm going to do, but it's not like a consistent, character that I'm this one person. It's like every time I appear in them, I'm a completely different person, or at least it's still me. It's still my energy, because I can't really change me in that regard, but it's a different persona. It's a different, perspective on life and value system. We talk a lot about values and morals and doing the right thing and being positive and paying it forward, and all these beautiful themes that are just so amazing to share with y'all. So I love that. I love it. I do. And because as an actor, or as actors, we want to be considered for various opportunities. When we say our age, it's kind of people are like, oh, wait, then you must be this, right? It's no, just because that's my age doesn't mean that I'm that, right? So this happens a lot, if a young actress, young, in her 20s, is going out for a lot of really more provocative roles and more sexy type opportunities, and then but she's a young mom, she has a child, right? So then all of a sudden you just see her as a mom. You don't see her as this sexy vixen, So that's why I think so many of us in this city, this industry, kind of shy away from these conversations, just because we want to open ourselves up to more opportunities. However, let me just say this, okay? Regardless of your age, you're not too old. Let me say that again. Regardless of your age, you are not too old to do anything, or be anyone, or pursue whatever you want. Okay? I want to establish that, and I want this message to get out everywhere, okay? Because this is an important one. I want us to realize that when we keep feeling like, oh, I'm too old to do this, or I'm too old to do that, guess what? That's what's going to stop you, because you're going to be like, oh no, that person is, 20 years old, 25 years old, who cares, 30 years old, and they're already there, and I'm starting my acting career at 60. Who cares? There's a market for 60-year-old actors. There's, older, more affluent couples. There's older, if you get older, grandparents. There's a market for everything and everyone, and that's what's amazing about what we do here. Or what I do, in case you're not an actor. I'm used to talking to a lot of actors. But the point is that regardless, I use that as an example, but it doesn't matter, right? I didn't start dancing, okay? How old are dancers when they start, right? How old are they? 4? Little girls are in ballet at the age of 6, right? Let me tell you something, okay? I didn't want to start dancing until, and that's because my mom put me more in martial arts and kickboxing and taekwondo. So I was definitely more of a tomboy, and I used to play basketball, and I was awful at it. I don't want to make it sound like I was this next anything. I know my shortcomings. Sports, although mixed martial arts, I love martial arts. Okay. However, I was not the little ballerina in pink, okay? I did not do tap. I did not do no modern. I didn't do no tap. And my grammar is awful. It's just for emphasis right now, right? So I was not a young little dancer who had a tutu. I've never worn a tutu in my life. Yeah, I don't think I've ever worn a tutu. The point is, I became a dancer. I left my corporate job in New York And I became a dancer in Miami. No, I was not a ballerina, obviously, because hello, that's like years upon years on training. However, I did become a samba dancer, and it was amazing. That rhythm, that Brazilian, oh, that beautiful culture that's based around dance and carnaval. And yes, I became a samba dancer in my 20s. Okay? So my point is, you need not think that because you didn't do something at the age of like 15 or 20, whatever the number is, I'm just throwing numbers out there, that you're too old for anything, okay? Because let me tell you something, and this is why I feel so strongly about it, okay? I feel very strongly about this if you can't tell, but I'm going to keep going. Okay. I feel very strongly about this because I have had incredible examples in my life proving this very notion that you, me, them, none of us are too old to do anything, okay? You've heard the stories, right? Like the 90-something-year-old grandma who like swims across like the Atlantic or whatever insane metrics that like, you know, sometimes we feel the need to do at whatever age we're at. And, you know, it's like, it does not matter. It should not matter. Yes, we use numbers to determine how many years we've been on this earth, because it's just like, you know, we get to celebrate our birthdays, and the more birthdays we have, the better it is, because the smarter, wiser, and more powerful we are. We're more confident, we're more accepting. And those are amazing things to strive for, right? Who doesn't want to be wiser and smarter and more experienced? I think it's fantastic. And who doesn't love like the oldest wine ever, right? There's so many examples in our beautiful Asian cultures that celebrate and honor the elderly, the more wise ones. I don't know. There's something beautiful to that. There's something really beautiful to that. That we can accept where we're at, where we've been, and where we're going. I love that. I love that, because too many times we stop ourselves because we think we should have done it already. Well, guess what? If we should have done it, we probably could have done it, but we told ourselves not to, because those are a whole another set of issues that we all have, all of us. And we hear the term a lot these days, okay? Like maybe 10 years ago, the whole limiting beliefs thing, no one heard that word. That thing didn't even exist in like terminology terms, okay? Like all of a sudden, everyone, you know, we all now better understand, you know, what challenges, what self-imposed challenges we have, and we uphold within ourselves that prevent us from doing what we very much need to do and are meant to do and are here to do, okay? And I'm guilty of it. I'm freaking guilty of it. We all are, right? If you're human, if we're human, we do it. And that's just case point and blank. That's how it goes. That's the way the brain works. That's the way, you know, it's been happening. Lucky few who don't have those sorts of limitations on themselves. So going back to my examples, I have two incredible examples of this very notion. We are not too old. You're not too old. I'm not too old. I'm not going to tell myself I'm old, because guess what? Then I'm going to think I'm old, and then I'm going to start feeling it. And that's not the way I want to live, because I want to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, and how I want to do it. I don't always succeed. However, I make the attempt, unless one of those beliefs get in the way. However, that's a different topic. What I want to focus on is my incredible grandma. My incredible grandma, who will be up there now 5 years tomorrow, and I'm getting ready to celebrate that, because I had her here, thankfully, for many, many years, and she was incredible. Give me a second. Amazing. And let me tell you, she was such an incredible woman. Whew, wasn't expecting that. I was going to give you another example first, but I guess I went here first. I'll tell you how she inspired me to believe that I'm never too old, because she wasn't too old. So I'm glad I talked about my dancing years, because this kind of, relates to that. So when I lived in Miami and I was a dancer, I worked at, if y'all have been to South Beach, or actually they're all over the world, I was one of the head dancers at Nikki Beach in South Beach. And as one of the dancers there, we often had opportunities to go to the other Nikki beaches around the world. There's one in Cabo and Manhattan and St. Bart's and Mallorca and Ibiza. I mean, they're all over the world, or they were at the time. And if you've been, you know what I'm talking about. So my grandma was in her 80s, okay? In her 80s. And if I was invited to dance at the one in New York, which is where my family lived, the amazing owners and managers of Nikki Beach would invite my family, because it was just such a beautiful family inspired establishment, and it very much is. If you know the story, it's an incredible story, and I encourage you to look up Nikki Beach. If you've been, I still encourage you to look it up, because I bet you don't even know as much of the history of that beautiful place, because when you go there, it's very much about like the mojitos and the dancing and the dancers and the beach and the sand and the sushi and you don't realize what incredible history there is with that chain of venues. It's remarkable. Oh my gosh, it touches my heart just thinking about it. So if you've been, guaranteed you're just thinking about the fun times you had there. You can go check it out too. If you haven't been, you gotta go. It's so fun. It's a lot of fun. It was, especially when I lived there. And when I danced there, my years there, oh my gosh, what memories. Woo, they were fun. So anyway, so whenever I was invited to the Nikki Beach in Manhattan, New York, my family would come see me, because they wouldn't be able to see me in Miami, obviously. So, oh my gosh. So my mom, my dad, my grandma, my sisters, they would all come to Nikki Beach. My grandma was in her 80s, okay? And kid you not, my grandma had fallen. She had an injury and her arm was in a cast, and she had like all these like metal bars put in her arm to reconstruct her arm and whatever. And she still came to Nikki Beach to hang out with us, all right, with her glass of champagne. So fun. She would be like the rock star of the night. No, I'm sorry. Actually, that was the other example that I'm going to get to momentarily, who was the rock star of the night. I mean, people would look at, okay, I'm going to go there momentarily. Oh, this is such a fun story. Okay, so my grandma would be there with her freaking cast. The managers would come out with the security guards to like escort her in, because it's a club. At the end of the night, you go there for dinner, but then it turns into a full-on club, and y'all who've been there know what I'm talking about. And so like she would be like rocking out with me, and I'm like, I love my grandma. She never said no to going to places because she said she was too old. And mind you, everyone in there was like, 20s, 30s, like really, it was a clubbing demographic. And she was just so incredible, and she inspired me to always want to be that person, that mom, that grandma. I don't have kids. However, if I were to have them when I get to grandma years, perhaps, I want to have that lifestyle where I go out and I'm like fist pumping in the air with a glass of champagne in tribute to my grandma, because she was not too old to go clubbing with us. Like, what a cool story is that, right? So If my grandma can go with like metal plates in her arm and like a full on like arm freaking banded Yeso is in Spanish, cast in English, a cast, and can have fun and jam with us, then you're not old. You're not too old. None of us are too old, okay? So remember my grandma, Tita. She was so special. She is so special to me. And oh my gosh. So maybe that little story will remind you when you think that you perhaps have missed the boat and can't do one thing or another, or just do it. Do it. Because remember, what we regret are the things we don't do. Those are the only regrets I have. I have fallen on my face on so many occasions doing wacky things. But I don't regret that I had the experience, you know? It's like, that to me is living. That is life. That's the purpose why we're here. We're here once. Once. We're here once that we know of. We may come back. I think it'd be really cool. But we won't be who we are now. We can come back as like, you know, anything. We won't have a recollection of what we were previously. I don't know. Some people do. I'm not going there. However, the point is, you're not too old to try anything. So now I'm going to present you with my second example. My second example. My second example is my dad. And if you go on my Facebook or my Instagram, you'll see photos of us too, because he's the only one that will take as many photos as I want to take, because he's like, okay, I'll take another photo. My mom's like, no. My dad's like, okay. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Together. Oh my gosh. So my pops, right? My pops, if y'all know me, my pops, right? All my family members, obviously. The point is that my dad, right? Okay, spoiler alert, okay? In case you haven't been to Nikki Beach, you won't be getting there anytime soon. And even when you go, when it opens back up and the world opens back up, you'll have so much fun that you'll just remember me hopefully saying this, but it won't have spoiled the surprise, okay? So what makes Nikki Beach really cool is that you dance on the tables. It's so fun. So there's these huge, like 20-foot tables, like that you just like everybody gets up and dances on, right? So as dancers, we were hired to do a little show, a little choreograph or not, do our own little thing, and open up the table floor and get everybody on the tables. So that's why I was so good at my job, because I could get everybody dancing. I mean, I got everybody dancing, and I was really good at my job. I mean, I've spoken in another video how I was a good hostess. Not good waitress, a good hostess. I was a fun dancer because everyone wanted to dance, and I would just fill up the dance floor. Not just me, I mean, I had help obviously, but it was just so fun to dance. Probably because I got into dancing, you know, later on, that I just had like this very different energy about dancing. You know, it wasn't obviously trained dancing, it was just fun dancing, and that's what we want, right? So I did really well in Miami, and Nikki Beach was just an incredible place to work for and with. And so the first time I went to Nikki Beach in Manhattan, we did our show, and of course my dad, my mom, they got up on the tables and they're dancing and everyone's having a good time. So then I got sent back to New York a few times thereafter, and oh my god, I kid you not. So the following times that I went, my dad would open up the dance floor. He would open up the tabletops. He would get up there and start dancing. And my mom's like, Ortiz, like, they're gonna fire her. You're doing her job. Because everybody wanted to dance with my dad. And it was so fun. I kid you not. I would be in these like little like, big feathers and whatever costume, was picked out for us, and I'd be like in these little costumes, and more people would want to take photos with my dad than with me. Okay? Like, what does that say? So my dad has taught me that it does not matter. Just go out there and dance. And dance like no one's looking at you. Because guess what? They're going to look at you and they're going to wish they were with you. And then that's what happens. They would all join in and take photos with him. And it was just, those memories for me are just incredible. And I carry them with me always. I know, right? And mind you, my dad is older. He is older. He's in his 80s too now. And he was at the time. So here's another thing. Using my dad as an example again. And this is more recent because I haven't danced in many years now. Since I've been in Los Angeles, I stopped dancing, which I miss. However, this past Christmas, I was home for the holidays. And my dad, in his 80s, sorry, Dad, but everyone knows. Okay, you don't look it, but everybody kind of knows. And he actually touts it from the mountaintops. He's so proud of his age, so I don't feel bad saying it. But anyway, the point is that he's always been like very like what's the word? Drawn to the violin. And he's always wanted to play the violin. So for the last few years, he's like, man, I wish I would have played the violin. I really wish I would have played the violin. I regret not having had played the violin. It would have been amazing to play the violin. So my sister, sweet soul that she is, she's like, I want to get him a violin for Christmas. I'm like, okay, you want to get him a violin for Christmas. So, we go on Amazon. We find the violin that she wants to get our dad for Christmas. Amazing, Amazon gets there in time for Christmas. And we pack it up. We put it under the tree. He opens it like a little boy. And he gets his violin. And he was so excited. He was so incredibly excited about his new violin. He had no idea what he was doing. Neither did we. We did not know how to use the resin or the I'm gonna have to post a photo of it so that you could see his beautiful technique in action. The thing is that he started playing the violin. I mean, he's not gonna be like in any symphonies or anything. But in his 80s, he picked up the violin and he just enjoys having it on his neck and shoulder and in his hand. And his technique is interesting, and you'll see what I mean. But he was happy and he did it. And now he's done it. And he's like, on to the next thing. And now I wonder where I get it from. So yes, we're not too old. You're not too old. I'm certainly not too old. I'm not going to fall for that because that's what, we are expected to believe after a certain age. Not this one. Not with those two incredible examples. So I hope that after today, you know that you can do anything whenever you desire to. It does not matter when. Okay? Promise? Please? Promise? Write it down. Put it in the comments. But promise me that you will remember that the next time an opportunity comes that you want to do, that the first thing you remember is that you can do it. You're not too old. You didn't miss the boat. And you're meant to do it when it approaches you, when it comes to you. So, maybe you'll leave me a comment telling me what that is, how it felt for you, what you thought of this video. That would be fun to read, hopefully, because it's been really fun to just put that out there, because I've been wanting to put this out there, and for whatever reason, this was the time. So everybody, thank you for listening. Hopefully still, if you're still here, please leave me a comment and say hello. And if you like the video, that's kind of cool. I believe I heard it's kind of cool. And if you decide to subscribe, that's way cool. I appreciate it. I'm grateful. And I promise that I will continue to do what hopefully you gave a thumbs up for, that you liked, so that you continue to like it and share it. Y'all are amazing. Y'all can do anything and everything. Let's go out there with that energy. We gotta finish strong. 2020, I keep saying this, 2020, we gotta finish strong. So no holding back, especially because your age. All right, thanks y'all. Bye for now.